I'm requesting a sabbatical from my duties as D10 councilman. I do not intend to resign my seat.
No resignation after being charged with leaving the scene of an accident and driving drunk and being caught on body cam footage looking intoxicated and confused. Clayton Perry made the public announcement early this afternoon, delivering a prepared statement that he repeated to council today. City Hall reporter Garrett Berger has been covering a City Hall day full of decisions.
And just moments ago, council members reacting to Perry's plea for patience, understanding, and time, and his, for the first time, taking full responsibility for that hit-and-run crash. They watered down a resolution that called for Perry's resignation, which then passed. So Garrett Berger joining us now. What's next for Perry?
Well, he will be taking that sabbatical he asked for. Now, council could not force him to resign, though they were planning on asking him to do that during a no confidence measure that they were scheduled to vote on this afternoon. But that did not happen, at least not exactly as scheduled. Now, Perry, who was charged in a hit and run that may end up also including a DWI charge, entered council today to applause from supporters there to urge the rest of his fellow council members against adopting that original resolution. Ultimately, council did not. They did pass the portion that issued a vote of no confidence, essentially just a public rebuke. But council members scrapped the language calling for Perry to resign. Mayor Ron Nirenberg, the only one to vote against stripping that language from the original resolution.
I made my statements very clear that if what was in the police report turned out to be accurate, which I think the videos have shown to be so, that I believe in the best interest of the city, our organization, the standards that we keep, and the behaviors that we expect from our elected representatives, and frankly, for the best interests of Councilmember Perry getting well, that he should step down, and I still believe that.
Look, I'm just trying to take it easy. I want to get to my office, sit down, and reflect on everything.
That was Councilman Clayton Perry trying to avoid our cameras on the way out of the meeting today. He didn't have much to say beyond that, including when exactly he plans to start the sabbatical he requested. Now, the city could start accepting applications for his temporary replacement as soon as today. The city attorney says definitely by tomorrow. Then the city council would start on the selection process at the end of this month. Live outside City Hall, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Look, I'm just trying to take it easy. I want to get to my office, sit down, and reflect on everything.
When do you plan to take your leave of absence?
Look, I got it. We just got through with council session, okay?
But what do you think this says? Yes, sir, but it's a public figure here.
Well, I understand that, and information as it happens will come out.
That was all Councilman Clayton Perry had to say after today's council meeting, in which some of his fellow council members said they had no confidence in him. What they didn't do, though, is ask him to resign. Instead, he'll take a sabbatical. That's what he says he will do anyway, as he requested.
It's been 1 week since we broke the story of Perry's possible involvement in a hit-and-run crash. And now Perry has confessed to causing a crash in which he's been charged with leaving the scene. SAPD body camera footage from the night of the crash showed Perry lying on the ground, confused and unable at times to answer an officer's questions.
Garrett Berger with why council members watered down today's vote.
Under fire for his self-confessed role in a hit-and-run crash, which may end up also including a DWI charge, Clayton Perry was not a man without friends as he entered council today.
This is a rush to judgment based on trial by TV. This is pure political theater.
Supporters decried the proposed resolution and said District 10 residents should choose who represents them. Council members could not force Perry to resign, but they decided they didn't want to ask him to either.
I do not want to call for Councilman Perry's resignation. I do believe that that's not my role.
I would remind each other that either we're compassionate or we're not compassionate. We can't use the word compassionate only when it benefits us.
But people we talked to in his district today were less forgiving.
Honestly, I think that it's incumbent upon him to resign. I really do feel that he needs to resign. we shouldn't have public officials in those positions that do those kind of acts.
You know, we can't just let people get away with stuff, especially when you're in a position of power.
Perry, though, will be giving up that power, at least temporarily, to take a sabbatical. Though as soon as he decides to come back, he'll be able to.
Clayton Perry has not said exactly how long he plans to be out, but he will be able to come back as soon as he says, as we just heard, the city could start accepting applicants for temporary people to temporarily fill his position as soon as today, though certainly tomorrow, the city attorney says. That process will last until the 28th, and then the council will begin the selection process at their meeting on November 30th. Live at City Hall, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.